Blessings, you guys. It's Byron. Holy Spirit has guided me to pick up A Course in Miracles and to randomly, for me, go to a page and a paragraph and a line, and I would like to share it with you for your deepening reflection and consideration. We are in, what chapter are we in? We're in chapter 6. Yes, we are, of our main book. We are in chapter 6, at the very, very top of page 102, and is a single line that I would like to share with you and just open and uncork for a moment or two to let that line breathe in our awareness and our field, to feel what that means for us and to go into it a little bit and what we understand the words to mean. And this line is: choosing through the Holy Spirit will lead you to the kingdom. Choosing through the Holy Spirit will lead you to the kingdom. So what does that mean? The word through is very interesting. It doesn't say choosing with or letting the Holy Spirit choose. It's saying choosing through the Holy Spirit. And so that word really is a key indicator for us as to not only the nature of Holy Spirit and our relationship with Holy Spirit, but also the nature of creation as it moves through us. Remember that quite often we've had it very wrong in that we are not the creator of the universe and we are not the centre of all things. The creator of the universe and the centre of all things moves through us as a component and as a part of all of those things, and that the source is not from us. And so we must remember, and our language gives us a good indicator of our point of orientation in relation to creation and in relation to the kingdom. If we are egocentric and self-centric, you'll find your language and terminology will be a little different, and there will be a whole lot of you in there. And so you'll find it will be you and Holy Spirit. And so you'll be working with Holy Spirit. A little more humbly, you might allow Holy Spirit to work through you. But this is different again. We're talking about working through the Holy Spirit. So what does that mean? First of all, let's take a moment to reflect on what Holy Spirit is and who Holy Spirit is for us. And of course, this is a very large subject that is quite mysterious for most people. Holy Spirit is a bit of a tricky one in the sense of Christ being the tricky part of Jesus Christ. In spirit and of a non-physical form, not a lot of people have a solid understanding of who and what Holy Spirit is and what Holy Spirit's function is. And we're going to talk about that a whole lot more during A Course in Miracles journey this year, which will start in March, and through other videos and other discussion too. But for now, I will just briefly say that Holy Spirit might be quite easily understood when likening his function to the pure thought in your mind. Now, what I mean by that is that in your mind at any time, you have zillions of thoughts going on, conscious, unconscious, and otherwise, but you have one thought. And one of those thoughts in your jumble and grand array of thoughts is holy. And you would say that is a part of you, one aspect of you is your holiness. And of course, if you are aware of that on any level, your mind will be aware of that on some level. And for your mind to go, yes, I am aware of that holy aspect of myself, then that is a thought. That is your mind aware of your holiness. And so you have a thought, one part of your mind that is akin to God, that is likened to God, and that is, for all purposes, a part of God. That one part of you, your light, which your mind is aware of, that part of you which is God. That thought, that pure thought, that inspired thought, if you like, of which there is only ever one, and that may illuminate many other thoughts in your mind at the same time. We would call that thought of light, that source of inspiration in your mind, Holy Spirit. For the function of Holy Spirit is to act as inspiration in the form of divine clarity, in the form of making choices in the clarity of truth rather than from the sense of ego and from self-directedness. So to work through Holy Spirit simply means to make our choices and our decisions from the perspective of this thought. And to practically achieve this means to first connect to that thought, to the holy part of your being, to, as they say, the kingdom within. Connecting to the kingdom within, your own holiness, in your awareness. That awareness is in part of your mind. And your awareness of your holiness, that thought of light, that thought of God, that awareness of the kingdom within, that experience is Holy Spirit. And to drop into that state first, you might call that meditation, prayer, or contemplation. Any of those words will get you to the authentic experience of stopping and coming back. And it takes a moment. Just a moment. But you know. And you know when you've come back to your place of holiness. Use the word. And when you have, from here I, from this place of holiness within, I now choose. I now make a decision in my life. I can now pick the direction that I will go, for from my centeredness within the kingdom, my God-centric state within, the choice will be made. I will know what to do. The direction will be clear. The direction will be presented, remembering that we are not the creators. We are participators creating through Holy Spirit. And this is the difference in working in kingdom-mindedness, that Holy Spirit is the source is the source to the source, and that we are not in control, that we do not need to do it, that all we need to do is to listen to the directive that comes through, is to be aware of the clarity that is presented before us, and to simply respond accordingly. When things are clear, our response is organic, for it is obvious what to do. And when something is obvious, there is no decision or choice, no strain or stress. There is a simple flow of response. And that is the presence of Holy Spirit in our life, when there is a flow of engagement with our choices and the fruit that we produce. For all of that is being done in the light of God, rather than in the shadow of our own ego or agenda. I hope that makes a little sense with that statement. God bless. We'll be back again next week.